I've got parts, they're multiplying. Before, after, before, after. Lots of paint stripper, lots of sanding, lots of elbow grease, lots of crying. Unfortunately, the other side is in much worse nick. There's a lot more rust, there's a lot more corrosion, so this is going to be a pain in my ass to fix. Wish me luck. So, the instructions say to strip the paint off the tank. I need to put the nitromors on for 10 minutes and then leave to blister. Do the thing. Come on. Ooh, bubbly. So where are we up to with the bike? Well, I've started the strip down on the engine casing. I got a good chunk of the paint off there. It's now back to metal in places, ready for it to be done properly. There's still some areas where it's all bunged up with paint, but another couple of hours with some sandpaper should hopefully see to that. I've stripped down both shock absorbers, given them a damn good cleaning. Got them all nice and shiny. I've done some polishing on some other stuff. The tank's completely stripped down. Unfortunately, being the idiot that I am, I managed to drop it and put a dent in it, so that's going to need filling. Dropped it while I was clearing some stuff out of it. What else have I done? Oh god, that's loads better than it was.
Unfortunately, they're a little bit deep. So this is what we do. Get hold of the line. Okay. Pull a little bit.
Oh, that's so weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Put them on there. And then that one, I'm not sure.
So the good news is, all the stitches are out of my knee and my cast is off. The bad news is, it's going to be at least 6 more weeks of healing, anywhere up to 3 more months before I'm back to normal, which is just fantastic. Pretty much means that I'm not going to be riding again this year, which is a bit upsetting, but there we go, these things happen. So, rewrapping these pipes and then get to work on sorting out the front suspension. So in order to get this bottom yoke cleaned off, ready for paint, I've got no alternative other than to sandblast it. So this is the sandblaster. Essentially, it's a cabinet where stuff goes in, gloves attached, big drum filled with sand, compressor, air comes through the compressor, out into the gun, air goes in there, sand goes in there, air and sand come out here and blast the area clean. In theory, there are a lot of variables, such as, I don't know whether you can hear it, air leaks. This is quite an old cabinet and it's not been used very much in the last 7 or 8 years that it's been here, so results may vary. It also depends on how moist the air is. But as you can see, it's incredibly fine sand, so I'm going to clear this out, put the yoke in and start sandblasting. But it's loud, it's noisy, so we will come back after I'm done. So guess who has a broken hand and forgot to film the aftermath of doing the yoke? This guy. So instead of showing you that, let's talk a bit about design theory for this bike. Everybody has their own way of designing a custom bike project. Some people like street fighters, some people like classic chops, some people like cafe racers. It's all well and good you wanting to do a rat survival bike and you spray paint everything matte black and blah 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 blah, but it doesn't show any intelligent design. For me, I like to make sure there's some contrast. So while yes, I am doing a lot of this bike black, I am contrasting it with the silver of the forks, the silver of the hubs, the silver of the rear suspension, etc, 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 etc. So when designing this bike, I'm avoiding the 3 design tropes for choppers. No flames, no spikes, no skulls. Everybody does it. You know, you can't go to any bike show without seeing a chopper with a flame paint job, or, you know, skull ghosting on the tank, or every single nut having one of those spiked cover things on them. I'm not. Which makes designing it both more entertaining and more difficult, because it'd be easy to spray paint a skull onto the tank and be done with it. It'd be easy to replace every single nut and bolt on it with some spikes. But that's not the point of this project. The point of this project is to make something that I both enjoy building and enjoy riding, and although the tank did originally have a Punisher skull on it that I put on it, as you can see from earlier in the video, I've taken that off. When I got this bike, it was entirely spray painted black. Every single thing on it was black. The engine was black. The forks were black. The rear suspension struts were black. The tank was black. Everything was spray painted black, and it's too much. You need contrast. You have to have other colours on there. So the colours I'm using in this project are black, silver and blue. So as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by all the birds, making me have to move to the top garage to finish this video off, I'm going with silver, black and blue. I was thinking of going cherry red, but the thing with that is everybody does black and red as a bike colour. So I thought, why not try the blue? You don't see that much outside of the diner community. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a shot. So because I'm waiting on paint to dry on the engine of the bike, yes, I've repainted it, even though I stripped it back to metal. It was always my plan to paint it black again, but to do a proper job on it. Because of that, I'm now stuck with things I can do on the bike. So my basic plan is I'm going to spend the rest of today and probably most of this week designing and finalising the tank graphics. That way, as soon as that's done, I can just get on with it and get painting and start to be a bit artistic with it. I may rebuild the suspension. It depends if I can get the old stuff to bits. It's very old, very rusty. It's proving to be quite difficult to pull apart. But we'll see. I'm going to concentrate the rest of today, probably tomorrow and a couple of days later as well, on the graphics for the tank. We'll see how that goes. I do tend to change my mind a lot on stuff like this, so finalising that will be quite difficult. But for the time being, I think that's us for today. So I've been the Biking Viking. You've been awesome. See you next time.